on the Paladin, and this is difficult for Paladin, isn't it, Raven?
It really is. It is doable, but pretty much everything Warrior does is a pain. Like, Warrior makes a lot of low-cost taunts, has a lot of 1 damage AoEs, and has the weapons that even add on top of that as well. So it's kind of weird that they, you know, kind of probably frustrating actually that they have to play the Paladin to this. That's the way the format is. But I think Brazil are looking pretty nice. And then on top of that, obviously they have the Paladin versus the Rogue, which is pretty decent anyway. So we might see Brazil have a decent chance of going there 2-0 in the next 2 games, which means they go 3-1 in the total series overall.
It's a double threat for the Quest Warrior versus the Odd Paladin, because not only the endless board players they have, the Warpaths, the Blood Razors, the Brawls, etc., but it's also the fact that they put up taunts.
Right.
And even a board full of 3/3s doesn't do much against the biggest of taunts that can appear for this Warrior.
Yeah, the Mulligan's looking pretty good already for Perna, as there is a Blood Razor available, and even the Cornered Sentry can get some work done, even if you just have to have 3 1/1s on the board.
Something interesting that Sato mentioned in the earlier series is that nowadays, with Quest Warrior, it's very rare that you actually want to throw away the quest. I think, Raven, this may be the one matchup where Brazil will want to throw away the quest.
I disagree.
Oh.
Look, I think you keep the quest.
Think you want to just win the game?
Well, the problem is that Paladin keeps making dudes, and unless you get to your Death Knight fast enough, you can't keep clearing them. You have a lot of clears, don't get me wrong, but if Grom is bottom 5-ish, and they have a decent draw, they can just hit you. Like, for example, imagine late game, they draw Vine Cleaver and you don't have Grom.
Right.
But what do? Well, you can at least try and clear the board, weapon them down. One, you get a 4/2 weapon, and then also a hero power that actually clears something, or it kills them.
Yeah.
So I do think you have to keep it.
I'm just concerned that the hero power is just going to be killing 1/1s, but there you go. Perna agrees with you. He keeps the quest. And like you said, the Garrosh is the big deal, isn't it, in this matchup? Getting that hero power, like forget the quest hero power, but a hero power that clears the board every single turn, yes please.
Right, and I think, for example, if Garrosh was in the Mulligan, you're way more likely to just throw away the quest and be like, the Garrosh is our quest in this matchup.
The quest is get to turn 8, win the game.
Right. This is a pretty aggressive opening from Greece, though. The Blessing of Might onto Divine Shield minion means that something has to be done. There is the Blood Razor with the coin next turn that they can actually clear this off, but in the meantime, taking a lot of damage.
I just can't stop watching the face cams in Greece. Did you see how much Thalmanos was just shouting at his teammates there? How passionately he was... I mean, it looks like he's talking quite loudly to me.
Yep, I would have to agree. But it also looks like he's smiling, so they're probably just having a good time. I think it's one of those heat of the moment things where you might shout, you might call someone silly, call someone stupid, but as a team, it's like, it's heat of the moment, it's to get, you know, the passion's got running high, and you just want to win the game, so everything gets a bit tense, a bit giddy. But they're smiling, they're having fun, and I don't blame them, because they've got a pretty good opening against this Warrior.
Raven, I think you're silly.
Okay. It's just not enough of an insult to me.
Oh.
I'm dead inside because I've spent so much time with Soto, like calling me silly is, if anything, mildly leaning towards a compliment at this point in time.
Yeah, but I was saying this about the Team Greece earlier. It's one of the reasons I loved watching them last year, is that they are like this. In all of the games they play, they shout at each other, but they have a great time doing it, and it just works for them.
See Greece as well, getting in early, playing around Grom. That really, though, means they're pushing 7 this turn, and suddenly there is an answer, but it involves them taking a minimum of, what, another 9 this turn? Ouch.
It's about as good a start as Greece could possibly get against the...
Well, he's just having a good time. He's playing some Paladin, jamming someone in the face. I'd be smiling too. By far their worst matchup. And they're just beating them up. Look at this, they take another 5 from the swing, has to be done. Yep. Another 4 from the minions that actually live. You know, as Greece, the minions are actually going to go down next turn. But the funny thing as well is, unless this weapon gets overridden,
oh my goodness,
it means that the strike with the weapon has to go into the taunt. So then you do extra damage that you shouldn't have been allowed to do as well. I think we might even see another raid leader.
I was going to say, I mean, that's 6 more damage this turn and another 3 when that weapon goes in. Oh, wow.
I wonder.
This is a way to play the matchup and win. I mean, Thalmanos last year in 2017, he achieved top 100 legend every single month during the competitive season. He streams daily and has, I believe, over 300 loyal subscribers, which will be why he's...
It'd be weird to have disloyal subscribers.
It would be,
What are they going to do? Like, are they going to wait for like a wedding and then stab you in the back or something? I don't know. But they paid $5 to get in.
I should imagine that all the faces that we're getting from Thalmanos are aimed at them.
Nice little raptors.
Right, finally, a taunt in the way.
I think Thalmanos now is like, oh, okay, got close, but lost. Because that 2-6 has made the world of difference right now. Of course, the armor's good, but if you have the taunts, then guess what? Paladin isn't getting through anyway. I don't believe Greece are actually playing an Owl, unless I am mistaken. I didn't see one. Oh, they're playing a Void Ripper, which is kind of an Owl.
It's much more common than Iron Beak Owl nowadays on Paladin. Oh, Sunky Batarium. I shout out this card every single time the Stonehill Defender comes down from on Paladin because it's such a strong card in most of the unfavored matchups, just because it can even the playing field a little bit. As long as Thalmanos can get a wide board one more time, Tarim can do some serious work.
It's not going to be for a while yet.
No, and with that Brawl in Brazil's hand, it's going to be more difficult to achieve.
This is a big turn, though. There's a very large difference right now between Team Brazil playing the Brawl and not playing the Brawl, because we can see the Tarim is available, and if there's no Whirlwind effect, which we see that doesn't exist, then maybe Execute Slam.
Slam Execute is looking good to me, actually. The Raid Leader can be executed, one of these the Stonehill can be traded into, and then one of the 1/1s can be traded into as well. Oh, Stonehill Defender from the other side.
This is still fine. You put the 2-1 into 2-2. Well, it doesn't actually matter that much, but the 2-5 into the Raid Leader. It's just 2 1-1s versus 2 fairly large health taunts, considering.
Right, Raven calling it. Booty Bay Bodyguard. Let's go. It would be
no. Surely it's Tarim. If you've got anything to do with it, Funk.
Don't think that's possible for Warrior.
Okay.
But this would be the third Booty Bay Bodyguard today that Taunt Warrior has picked.
Okay, close.
Honorary Dying Hall, a little bit better of a card than Booty Bay Bodyguard. Sostel and I were just astounded by the Booty Bay Bodyguard picks earlier.
Yeah, there was one in the game, me and Larissa.
Yeah, exactly. There was that. Then there was the one in our series immediately after. It's just like, what is going on today? What could we didn't get to see what the other picks were, but dread to imagine what they were.
I wonder.
Pretty good Divine Favor here.
Yeah, Tarim looks like, well, you can go 3-7 on the board and clear the 2 taunts. It's like, well, yeah, but I think you actually, Team Greece are at the point where they need to actually just stick a board and then Tarim for the big push and not just rely on a 3-7 to beat Warrior, who still has access to executes as well. Did get that Corridor Creeper as well, along with the double Fungomancer, which means next turn, at worst, there's Hero Power Fungomancer, which creates 2 chunkier minions to deal with from Team Brazil. Greece still could piece it together. Dry Whisk Armor, a little bit of an annoyance, but nothing major to deal with, although the Paladin kind of does the work for you as the Warrior here. You're always going to have a decent armor, because if you've not got a decent armor, then you're probably winning anyway.
Just a little bit distracted by that quest at the moment. 2 out of 0.
20 out of a /.
Sure. That makes just as much sense as what I said.
Yep. The 2 is waving at the 0.
Ah, that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where the Warrior is starting to get just out of range of that Paladin. Sunky Patarum is still this beacon of hope for Greece. However, they're going to want to Hero Power on the same turn, or at least play Lost in the Jungle on the same turn or something to get as many of these 3/3s as they can. Maybe even Corridor Creeper on the same turn.
Well, now they can have a 3/6 and 2 3/3s. No, they can't. I just can't count. I'm fine. Okay, so this is just another setup turn, so a turn along the lines of Fungomancer and maybe Ardent Squire?
Fungomancer doesn't look bad. Ardent Squire plus Tarim doesn't look bad either. I think I prefer the Fungomancer slightly.
Oh, yeah, get those Fungomancers rolling.
Exactly, and it allows the value trade against the Cornered Sentry. Hero Power can happen the same turn as well, further discounting the Corridor Creeper, which can later come in handy with the Sunkeeper Tarim turn. There we go, 3 out of 7. That makes more sense to me. The quest.
Bit of a tough choice. If Fungomancer's the play, then the hard part is, do you Hero Power or do you Squire? Because what's more likely to stick? And if no AoE happens, you can, if you plan on playing Tarim into minions, then the Divine Shield survives the trade anyway.
Yeah.
So does that end up just being actual like a +1 net?
I mean, it's definitely something that Greece have been talking about. They eventually did go with the Fungomancer. I have to say, Raven, in answer to your question, what is most likely to stick? You're playing against Taunt Warrior, so my answer is nothing. Nothing is likely to stick.
Okay.
There are 2 Brawls in hand, there are Warpaths, I don't believe either of which have been played yet this game, so things are just getting less likely as this game progresses.
I wondered if that trade was ever worthwhile. Put the 3/3 into the 5/5, so if something like Warpath or even a singular Whirlwind happened, then the Ornery Daihon's only on 1 anyway.
I think Warpath just wins the game for Brazil regardless, so whether or not the Ornery Daihon survives.
Right, but it's important you have Leroy in hand, right? Like,
Sure.
if Blood Razor comes down, for example, well, that's 2 damage to the Daihon, which means the Daihon dies. We're going to see a trade happens anyway, but...
It's a really good Battle Rage there. Just allowing Perna to fish deeper and deeper into the deck for Scourge Lord Garrosh, which is lurking down there somewhere.
Still just push 6 this turn.
Well, now... So let's see. Hero Power, trade in the Fungomancer, 0 mana Corridor Creeper, Sunkeeper Tarim is all playable this turn. I guess the Corridor Creeper actually gets played after the Tarim, so that it's 2/5 rather than a 3/3.
I don't know if you want to Tarim this turn.
Oh, wait, but if he trades the Fungomancer first, then the Death Battle procs, and then there's more 1/1s on the board. So never mind, scrap that.
Yeah, I think you can just Fungomancer here.
I wonder.
With Fungomancer, Greece can basically take control of the board. Gonna go with the Tarim, but without the Corridor Creeper. Oh, he can just play that after anyway, this is fine.
Move quickly.
Okay, so pushing 6. Which they could do with the Fungomancer anyway. This just puts the 3/7 taunt onto the board. Regardless, it's probably as wide as they're ever going to get, which was the more than likely the selling point for Team Greece here. Is just, are they ever going to have 4 dudes on the board after this point?
Yeah.
Probably not.
And I guess holding on to the Corridor Creeper as well there. Despite what I just said, it obviously makes more sense to play around the AoE so that he's got actually something to refresh the board with.
Yeah, and most importantly, it's a Ardent Squire, Corridor Creeper, Fungomancer is a fantastic turn.
Yeah,
You have a high health minion, you have a Divine Shield minion, that's a, still 3/3. That's looking pretty good.
However, Thrall into Stonehill Defender or Tar Creeper.
That's fine. Double Corridor Creeper into Fungomancer, let's go.
I wonder if it was worth considering playing the Dryrisk Armor before the fall there.
What a heroic little plant guy. What a heroic baby Groot.
Yeah, okay. I can see the similarity there.
It sounded like that was a hard sell. It's
was.
literally a little plant with eyes. It's exactly what baby Groot is.
I haven't heard him say the words "I am Groot" yet, though. That's not its attack sound. Therefore, you're wrong.
No, I'm not. I'm 100% right. Because my argument is you didn't see a comparison.
Okay.
Oh, look, middle card. Baby Groot. I'll take that. Like, that's not a comparison, is it? It's
Oh, no, I see it. I totally see it.
Fat abomination.
I totally see it.
Where's Sol when you need him? Some semblance
Nah,
of
I'm
logic.
kidding. That's obviously Drax.
I wonder.
Yeah, I can get behind that. It's actually closer to Drax. These are... fine pickups. I wonder. The consideration here is just Abomination.
Hang on, Raven. They're not fine pickups. There's no Tyrion there. There's no Sunkeeper Tarim there. I have much higher expectations for the Paladin than I do for the Warrior.
Okay. So the issue they have now is that the Abomination's just not going to get there in terms of damage. They want to clear it on board.
No.
I'm not going to lie. I did think that Discover was the Perna Stonehill and not Team Grease. Not my bad. But this is another setup, right? You've seen one brawl. Okay, let's go again. And no Fungomancer because you don't get the live damage straight away. But there is the alternate quest in this matchup, the Scourge Lord Grommash.
Yeah. Probably not.
Garrosh, not Grommash.
Yeah, Garrosh. Probably not playable this turn. The Stonehill Defender on the left means that the weapon really not going to do much at all, and Brawl is just looking so good here. Again, Dry Whisker Armorer plus Brawl would be gain 12 armor and then clear the board and then set up for Garrosh next turn. From that position, there shouldn't be a way that Brazil can lose this.
What now?
Not even gonna, what is he playing? Saving the Dry Whisker for?
Well, there's still another sentry in hand. He also just doesn't need it. Probably just wants to get a taunt on the board or some kind of minion this turn, which means that the 2/2 just isn't that valuable. Like, look at this turn, right? Just brawl the board, 1/1 survives, fantastic. Even if that was a corridor creeper, 2/2/3s are going to keep you alive long enough. Then suddenly Scourge Lord Grum. Garrosh.
Garrosh, Raven. Garrosh. Say it with me.
Grum's his dad.
You're the lawman!
Right, it doesn't mean I can't get them names mixed up. I just know which characters are which most of the time. Yeah, so this means that the hero power can be combined with the Death Knight next turn. Oh, they have a few other options. Stonehill still just shield block as well. So I think Brazil have just took the driver's seat right now. And without landing this Fungomancer, it's going to be a tough one. Again, though, there is Dread Corsair Fungomancer. Not the best turn in the world, but I feel like Greece really need a Vinecleaver right now, just to push some damage.
The Dread Corsair Fungomancer is pretty much all Thalmanis has, so he's going to have to go for it. No Brawls left, but still not a Warpath being played yet. I mean, the positioning here is okay against Garrosh. The weapon would have to go into the Dread Corsair, meaning that the Argent Squire survives.
Yep.
But then there's the hero power, so the Soundlight Chain Gang would be able to trade into the Argent Squire and clear off the entire board.
Yeah, this is still a board wipe.
It is.
Yeah, not bad. If anything, thinking about it, you'd actually just... Wait, let me think.
I wonder.
Yeah, you'd have to put the taunt on the far right, wouldn't you?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't really make a difference because the hero power still
Doesn't kill the Fungomancer.
deals with the 1/1s, and then Dread Corsair's in the exact same position it is now.
It's ashes.
Hero power first, sure. Yeah, I guess it ends up being the right place, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't put it on the right place.
No, but he would have just hero powered first in that position, right? It doesn't make a difference whether he hero
But
powered
what if they don't?
Well, then they're just playing badly at that point.
Well, that gives them an option to play badly, whereas doing that didn't.
Okay. Okay, sure.
I'm just saying.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Things.
You're right. There's no reason not to give your opponent the opportunity to play badly. That is.
Everyone plays badly at some point.
That is fact.
And now the issue is with the hero power that it just completely negates Greece's hero power, and the Team Brazil benefit greatly by having the hero powers not exist in this game.
Yeah. Shield Block, Phantom, Militia, Stonehill Defender. These are all just cards that shut Greece completely out of the game. When is the Paladin Death Knight hero finally going to become meta, Raven? When's that? What's going to make that happen?
I played it not too long ago. I think it's a pretty solid card, but
I mean,
it's not enough for Odd Paladin, right?
It was really good in tournaments a little while ago, but that's really about it. OTK Paladin still hasn't found its stable spot in the meta.
I don't think it needs to be OTK Paladin. I see it as 9 mana, equip a 15 attack weapon with 15 lifesteal, you gain 5 armor, and your hero power is generated 2/2.
Sure.
It's a solid card.
That would be great, but like the Paladin toolbox isn't really built around late game anymore like it used to be. Maybe this expansion will change that.
Right, but if your top end is Uther, and then you deal 15 and win the game,
Sure.
you don't need to play a control deck for that. Look at this deck. We're on turn 1 million, and this is what we're talking about, the quest. Although the quest has not been completed yet, look how long this game has gone. People autopilot and be like, no, Warrior just clears the party a couple of times, they win. Well, clearly not.
Well,
until now.
They won
cleared them more than 2 times, which is what I said, so I'm still correct.
Yes, you're right. I will say that the Warrior didn't actually draw Warpath